Oh,
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland. Oh, yeah.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Bone Thugs, sing with me, yeah.
Cleveland is the city where we come from.
Oh,
It's Matty and Patty on the East Coast in Brooklyn. This is Pat McManaman along with Matt Youngner. Say hello, Matty.
Hey, Patty, in person.
In person. This is exciting.
Staring at your face. This is
I
weird.
know. You're staring at your deep brown eyes.
I know.
Those sad puppy dog eyes. That's all
Something
from
may
every time.
happen. Finally.
Welcome to the Cleveland Sports Hour with Matty and Patty. By way of introduction, we are two long-suffering Cleveland sports fans who spend far too much time watching, reading, and thinking about the Cavs, the Browns, and the Tribe. We are unapologetic homers, but we are self-aware homers with brains. So if you'd like the informed, intelligent Cleveland fans' perspective on all things Cavs, Browns, and Indians, you've come to the right place. Matty, that opening track, Cleveland is the city,
You know I love it, Patty.
comes courtesy of Bone Thugs and Harmony, who we had the distinct honor of meeting in person yesterday at HuffPost Live.
A lot of fun.
It was pretty cool. It's one of the nice perks of where I work.
That was an incredible one. What timing?
Yes, Matt arrived yesterday on a flight at 1 p.m. And I knew this, and then the day before, I got an email saying Bone Thugs was going to be on at 4 o'clock. I didn't book this. I didn't book the 7. It's not my forte. But it's one of the nice things about my job. I get to abuse it occasionally. I get to abuse my position at HuffPost Live to be able to meet a few celebrities. I use it sparingly. I've only been that jerk with Bone Thugs, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. And the Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik. I think one more. Oh, it was a Sesame Street character, Grover.
Grover.
Yeah, Grover. I had to go see Grover.
All right.
You wouldn't get a photo op with Grover?
I guess I would.
You just don't.
I don't have a child.
You don't have the nostalgia for your childhood? I don't know. I do. Anyway, we got a picture with them. It's pretty exciting. We'll put it up somewhere. Maybe we'll make it the cover. Maybe we should cover this
Absolutely.
this piece. Now, Matty, I tried to look cool, like I belonged. And somehow I just managed to look even more painfully white and out of place than I actually was.
Didn't quite work out for you, buddy.
No, it didn't. I forgot the age-old rule of getting photographs of rappers. You don't smile.
No.
Don't smile. I didn't just smile. I just full-blown teeth.
Oh, yeah.
I like arms akimbo.
You were more wacky, not wacky, but serious morning show host.
Serious morning show host. Hey, I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Good morning, Kansas City. I've got Bone Thugs here in studio.
We've
with
got
me.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. But I can't lie. I can't say I am something I'm not. I am not cool enough to really actually
It
be.
works even better this way.
Yes,
to be honest.
exactly. I'm just happy that they were the nicest guys. Didn't
cool.
care that I was just clearly did not belong and was clearly not a big enough fan aside from the fact that I'm from Cleveland, which makes me love them, and I don't know them that well.
They were very happy that I was wearing both a Cleveland T-shirt and a Cleveland hat,
Yes,
Cavaliers gear, and
big news. We
and
had some breaking news here.
yeah, you heard it here first. Wishbone says Cavs are winning it all next year, so we got that going for us,
It is written,
which is nice.
which is nice. Let's give them a quick rundown here, Matty. There's a lot to cover in this hour. Before we get into it, let's go through a quick rundown. So first off with the Cavs roster, it's nearly set. We're going to analyze Griffin's moves and anticipate what's coming next. After that, we'll check in on the Tribe and try and suss out whether it's time to check out. Getting dangerously close. And with Brown's training camp underway, we will furiously talk ourselves into and right back out of the Browns' upcoming season. Matty, before we jump into the Cavs roster, there was another gem that dropped, courtesy of Slam Magazine, on Mozgov.
And our boy Timo, man,
Oh, Timo.
just
check
gold
this-
every time from him. I think he might be the Cav I want to hang out with the most.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been waiting for TT to sign, which we'll talk about in a second, because once he signs, for sure, I was determined to get that was going to be my next jersey. Now that I can't keep rocking my
Waiters.
Deion Waiters jersey. I mean, Deion, I love you, but I got to graduate from that. I need a current player that's not Verjao. Also, because that Verjao jersey is too big, it doesn't fit me well. So I was thinking about getting the TT jersey because TT's my favorite player now, but I don't know. Mozgov might be.
He's making a push, man.
You know, I already have one white guy's jersey, Ilgauskas. I have a Brazilian's jersey. I have Dion. So I kind of have carte blanche. I got all my boxes checked. So I can really pick out whatever I want here.
Well, I guess the risk is Timo leaving after this.
That's
This
true.
year,
That's the other
right?
thing, and he might leave
If
next
TT
year
signs, you'll have him locked up for a while.
for a while.
New Jersey would be good
This is a
for
hard
while.
decision, Matt. I don't know what to do. Well, we don't talk about that yet. Briefly, let me give you just some reasons why you should read the Slam article, guys, if you haven't read it yet, and we'll put a link in both the SoundCloud page and the YouTube page for this. It's a long interview from Slam with Timofey Mozgov. Matty, what are some of your favorite parts from it?
I guess we can just go back and forth on these a little bit. Right off the beginning, they asked him a question, and he said about how he started playing basketball. He said, the first time I picked up a ball, I was like 9. How it happened is funny and long. Do you have enough pages? How much is he misunderstanding about what's going on by saying, do you have enough pages? That Slam is an online magazine?
Did he think he was the narrator before the beginning of a movie? Right. Like starting, he's like, how much time do you have? And then the dissolve into his childhood under the Iron Curtain. Although I think he's probably born after, right? How old is he? No. The Iron Curtain fell 89. He's what, almost 30?
Yeah.
So he probably was born, he doesn't remember the Iron Curtain. He was born right before the Iron Curtain fell.
That's right.
But one of my favorite parts was he talks about how me and my guys would mix American football and basketball together. We would run through snow and push each other and shoot. No dribbling. It was so fun. Just push each other in the snow and score. It's so fucking great.
Slam asked him, what position do you play? Oh, I don't know because I was worse. You know, I still can't even catch the ball. Ha 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 ha. I am working on it, though. Trust me, guys.
I love that your imagination of Timofey Mozgov's laugh is a little bit like Skyler, our friend Skyler.
That one's sort of funny, but also, like, seriously work on catching the ball.
Seriously, Timo. The funny thing is, actually, Timofey Mozgov actually has good hands for a guy his size. That's just how bad people his size are catching the ball. It makes sense. Their arms are so freaking long. It's like trying to catch a ball with broomsticks. It's hard. Anyway, just classic. If you love Timo like we do, you've got to read that. All right, let's get into the Cavs roster. Let's start with the unsigned, right? So we almost got the whole band back together.
We're very close.
No one's left yet, right? No one's left. Who? No one, right?
The people that are the traded.
Oh, well, yeah. Miller, that's right. Miller's left, right. So the Miller's gone, but we'll get to that in a second. So TT and JR,
all the
two guys
important
haven't
pieces
come back.
coming back
Two
together.
important pieces haven't come back yet. Tristan Thompson, I mean, what do you think? I mean, he's going to sign, right?
It seems like he has to. There is and I know in the beginning of July, first of all, the last time we potted, I think we thought it had happened already.
That's right. We thought it was a done deal.
It was Love, Shumpert, and TT all signed.
Such a perfect day.
Of free agency. It felt great.
Such a perfect day.
Then it sort of comes out that TT hadn't. And it was always, let's not worry about it. It's not. It'll happen. It's going to take time. I'm starting to get a little worried about it. It's August 1st tomorrow. Doesn't seem like it's close to happening. Now, at some point, the reasons to not worry remain the reasons not to worry. There's no other team that can offer him. But really, that is going to do it because they know the Cavs are going to match almost any offer that he gets. Even if somebody does something silly like that 3-year poison pill deal the Mavericks did with Chandler Parsons, we can match that.
Totally.
A max deal, we'd probably match.
We totally max a max deal. I mean, it would be a bummer we would have him locked up as long, but the per year numbers are actually in our favor.
Yeah,
it's actually likening less than what we're trying to offer.
So the only thing we could get screwed on is if he just takes the qualifying offer, which is $6.7 million, which is already
crazy low,
$8 million lower than what he's hoping for.
Right.
And a big risk by him. I mean, I know he's been durable, but
I mean, the reason why I'm confident it's going to happen soon is that Team Canada is about to play qualifiers for the Olympics, and TT cares a fuckload lot about Team Canada. Like, he considers himself a leader, like one of the team captains.
Yeah. He's been really vocal about that.
And he can't play at all in that unless he's signed up. They can't risk it. Same reason why
he personally can't risk it.
He can't.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's just dangerous for his contract. He can't do that. So that's pressure. So if he passes on qualifiers, then I'm going to be fucking worried.
Sure.
Another reason not to be worried is I was seeing, I think LeBron did a Q&A yesterday on Twitter. My favorite was watching Cavs Twitter send him the not serious questions.
Slobbing softballs at him.
Yeah. Who should be the Browns starting quarterback? This is a great question to ask LeBron, which he dutifully ignored. Somebody asked about Tristan. He chose that one to answer and say, of course it's coming back. Like, that just, he didn't put pressure on him to sign one way or another. He said he's super important to our team. We can't live without him. Of course it's coming back.
It's interesting, my read.
He could be pressuring the Cavs to up. He could be pressuring.
I read somebody that said that was LeBron putting more pressure on the Cavs to do it, and I sort of read it.
No.
not that way.
No,
It's just like this will get done. It has to get done, and I think he can exert pressure on
and again,
TT just the same as he can.
the
on
fact that
us.
LeBron signed already without waiting for it, just nixing that entire Windhorst
Yes.
storyline, which Wendy has completely forgotten miraculously. I used to love Wendy. I don't know. I have complicated feelings for most
Yes.
of Wendy now. So I think TT's coming back. I think we're okay.
I think it's got to happen. Like I said, I'm a little more worried about it. I check Twitter compulsively, waiting for waiting for it to break.
Yep.
But
It's been nice for me. Actually, I haven't been checking as much over the past couple of weeks. It's been nice.
I'm going to slow down.
Well, every time I check, there's something to look at. I'm like, all right, I'll just stop checking. But like, God, that first week in July, it was, every time you check, there was something crazy new. Anyway, so JR.
JR, I feel even better about, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
He
I
just
mean,
has
poor
no
guy.
options. Well, poor guy. He should have
He should have taken his
opted out of his
qualifier.
game.
I know.
Not a qualifier.
Or whatever,
It's a
the
player
option.
option.
I'm sorry, the player option. Sorry, player option. He's going to get probably less than that. The Cavs are good. Who gives a shit? Pay him the same money now for 1 year. Just give it to him back. That's a pretty good.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'd like him for 2 years, but
I think
I'm fine with him getting for another 1 year deal.
you don't want long term with JR. I think you want him constantly playing for the next contract. You know, like
Right.
that's I don't want him getting comfortable.
Nope.
Like that. So I agree with you. 2 years, even with a team option on year 2, or
I said the thing at the beginning, I'd be thrilled if we can get him for 2 years at even like $8 million.
yeah, which I think is realistic.
Thrilled. And now he's going to get less than that per year, which is fantastic for us.
Oh, 2 years at 8 per year.
8 per year,
I think he
I'd
might
take
get
that.
2 years, 8 million total.
Total. I think you're right. I think you're right. So from the cash perspective, this is even better.
Yeah.
But at
It's,
least
it's
JR,
pretty clear there's not a market for him.
No, and I think JR is going to sign quickly and sign it. I think he'll find a way to take. I don't know. I don't know with JR. JR is sort of an enigma. If I were him, I'd take less money for more years.
Enigmatic, athletic, and handsome.
So right. I wish I had that set up. I should. This is poor planning on my part. We should have started JR with that music.
Well, let's wait till we have some movies.
That's true.
with him.
That's true.
He'll come back. I'll be happy to have him.
Yeah, likewise.
Especially at that number.
Likewise.
But miscalculation of the market by
Big time. So lots happened since we last potted. We had a ton of signings. Let's start with Mo Williams.
Yeah, well, last we talked about this, Pat.
I wasn't
think both
excited
of our
about it.
consensus was take a look and slowly back out of the room.
Exactly. I've talked myself back into it, which is what naturally homers do
Of
whenever a
course.
sign comes through.
Of course.
It's funny. Trevor Agnati from Fear the Sword has been pretty down on most of the Cavs signings, and I think he kind of lays out all of the bad parts, particularly for Mo Williams. He doesn't do well under pressure. He's been trending down on 3-pointers. He used to be good when he would go to the basket. He doesn't go to the basket at all anymore because he's getting old, so he just kind of is a chucker. But again, I think that's because he was playing on bad teams where he had the chuck. I think he could play the same. I think he could play the same kind of role they played with us before. He won't. Especially, he was being asked to do way more with us the first time around, but he will be this time.
For sure.
Now his job
He
is
was the
be,
starting point guard and second scoring option on those teams.
Right.
He is the 8th scoring option
Oh, I mean,
on this team.
he'll be the second scoring option on the second unit.
Yeah.
He's not even the first scoring option on the second unit with JR out there. Although I wonder if you can put the two of them out there at the same time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Those are two big shooters, which is great.
No, you can.
And I think JR was playing within himself when everyone wasn't hurt. And I think that'll help his game. But I think I see the same thing for Mo. I see him. His job is going to be to dribble the ball up the court, so Delly doesn't have to.
Mhm.
Having Delly play 2 guard
Yep.
and second unit's fantastic. That's better for Delly.
Yep. But he can still
Um,
guard point guards. I mean, you put him on the tougher of the.
You put
perimeter
Delly on the tougher
assignments.
defensive assignment. You try and hide Mo a little bit and hope he's not a total tire fire on
Yep.
defense. And who knows if he will be a tire fire. But second unit, it's not as
I
important.
think he
there.
has pull up. I mean, that's
He's got pull-up J, which is great for instant offense if you need it in a pinch if things are breaking down. And I think I'm hoping that his 3-point shooting will go up now that he's in a good team.
well.
It has the open
Most
shots
guys 3-point shooting goes up when they're playing
with
with
LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah, so we'll see that bump. So I think it's a good
Of the options
good
that were
thing.
available for us there, I don't know that there was a whole lot else
Yeah.
that we were going to get for that money. It's not like it's costing us a whole lot.
No.
I like that, and I'm a human.
Mhm.
I'm a human being, Pat, and
You gotta love the story.
yeah, it's nice to have him. I mean, he took it the hardest of anybody. When LeBron
I will
left.
always love Mo. I mean, Mo is a microcosm for you and me, man,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Because Mo was like all of us fans, and I hope Scooter, our Cavs hater who still hates LeBron and hates the Cavs because of LeBron. Mo Williams was like all of us. He was the one guy who refused to shake LeBron's hand after LeBron left and came back. And there was this great vine. You gotta go find it. There's a vines out there of LeBron going to shake Mo's hand. Mo just blows past him, and LeBron kind of has the look of like you can see him look hurt and upset, and like, what the hell? And what you can see with that, Scott. What you can see with that is he didn't understand. He didn't get it. He didn't get it back then. What he'd just done. It was clear he had no idea what he'd just done. Like it was one of those. He was like 25, 26. Yeah. I was a goddamn idiot when I was 20. I'm a goddamn idiot now. Yeah. I was a bigger idiot when I was 26. I think you might have gotten
worse.
What's that?
I think you might have gotten worse.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. All the drinking was kind of.
I agree with you though, but it also starts to have a feel of like LeBron settling all his business.
Yeah.
You know, in a good way.
Yeah. He's making right with everybody that this like
Booby. I don't know what he's gonna do for Booby. Yeah. Poor Booby.
Poor Booby. He's got. You know what he's gonna do? He's got to sign. He's gonna get like because Booby's doing music now. I still follow him on Twitter. He'll sign him up to one of he'll get him to do a track on Space Jam 2. Yeah. I think that's what he's gonna do with Booby. He's gonna settle things. I love this though. So anyway, I'm now on board with Mo. Richard Jefferson, it's like veteran minimum, right?
For sure.
That's a good deal. We didn't have this on the roster last year. Someone who could look. I mean, Matrix is supposed to be that guy. Matrix was beat and couldn't shoot.
No, and I think was more hurt during the year than got talked about.
Yeah.
Right? Like he banged. I can't remember if his knee or his hip that got banged up in the playoffs. I think he was. Well, did I ever tell you that my sister's boyfriend, before one of the playoff games, was out at a bar and saw Sean Marion smoking a hookah?
That does not surprise me at all.
Like at 7 o'clock.
It's the kind of thing he might do with Boris Diaw, you know, like Boris Diaw having a glass of wine and smoking a hookah.
Oh yeah.
That makes me like Matrix so much more. I was kind of sad that Matrix didn't have like a big finish with us. Oh, he did that last game of the season when he stole the ball to win the game in overtime, our last regular season game.
Oh, yeah.
We played Matrix for big minutes at the end because we were benching all starters, and Matrix stole the ball to win the game. It was awesome. And, LeBron and Kevin Love, who hate each other, were jumping all over each other.
But I think I like Richard Jefferson more.
Yes.
He's a better shooter.
I was surprised by this. I looked at the numbers. I couldn't believe this. He's
5
shot
years in a row at 40%?
4 out of 5 years. He's had a 3-point shooting average above 40%. That's amazing. What he doesn't do, and this is the knock on him that I've read from other Dallas Mavs bloggers, is that he doesn't take a lot of threes, though. Like, you want him to take more. He passes up threes and drives to the basket because he overestimates how good he is at finishing. Right. Although he can still fly. There were some great dunks that he had last year.
No, I think he's got more in the tank athletically than Marion did last year.
Yeah, I agree.
So, again, veterans minimum. What do we really need him to do? Spot LeBron? Like, I'm more confident with him being able to play 10 minutes a game.
Yeah, and I think the bigger role for Jefferson is not so much the 10 minutes a game he plays, but the once a week against the really bad team, bench LeBron, start Jefferson.
Yeah.
Have Jefferson play 20, 30 minutes. Apparently, all of his big numbers come when he plays big minutes. Yeah. So he's not actually a great rotational player, but he's going to be a great regular season player.
Yeah.
Because that's my biggest concern is resting Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron throughout the year.
Yes.
And the only way we can do that is by having tons of power forwards in the roster. Check. With Bergeron back if he's healthy. And we'll talk about depth there in a second. With Kyrie, now again, Mo.
No, helps that though for sure.
Yeah, between Mo and Shump, and hopefully JR comes back, we can give Kyrie days off too. As long as one of the big threes, as long as two of the big three are playing at all times, we should start doing that. We should start resting
for sure
guys every day.
Spurs model on steroids, and with LeBron, I think we talked about this before, but if he, I don't know, probably he wants to go take 2 weeks and hang out in Miami in December. Fine.
Do it. I don't care if we lose all 10 games. Fine, we'll catch up. It's fine.
Clearly
home court advantage does not matter. It's about winning.
Yeah.
Sidebar, though, the interesting thing about Richard Jefferson is that he committed verbally in the moratorium period, as everyone heard about, which we
this is some positive Cavs fallout from the
DeAndre Jordan situation. He committed verbally to Dallas Mavericks, and I don't know. I feel like Mark Cuban's reaction to the DeAndre situation has been to this I'm going to handle this. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm going to be the best, most amazing, good guy ever.
Yeah.
Just to rub in.
Want me to teach you something about keeping your word?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Here it is. I'm telling all of our guys who made verbal agreements with us, you're out of your verbal agreements. You made this verbal agreement with the understanding that DeAndre was going to stand by his word.
I can
He went back
understand that
on
he
his word?
screwed you the same way he screwed me.
So we're not going to do the same thing. We're going to let you guys make your own decision now, and actually letting them do it. I mean, I can't believe they gave max to money to
Wes
Matthews.
Yeah.
Coming off an Achilles tendon injury. I mean, I've gotten into fun arguments with Cavs Twitter about, because Cavs Twitter really is down on Varejao. They make a good case that he was trending downward last year, but I keep saying the team sucked when he was playing.
Oh, for the previous.
Yeah, they
before
keep saying
LeBron.
plus minus numbers. His on-court numbers were terrible. I'm like, yeah, but I think you got to give it a pass given his past record and what he's able to do with the tire fire our defense was last year.
Yeah.
He was the one guy who was making baskets with LeBron LeBron was forcing things with him because it was great to have him back. There's a lot of weird shit going on. I think you got to discount some of that.
I think so too.
But Cashier's just jumped off. I mean, the Achilles, I get that. The Achilles is like you don't know what that. But Achilles is making good recovery. If he comes back full steam, I'm bullish on Varejao.
And again, think about what we need from him. He's no longer our starting center. He's the backup center, backup.
He's fourth.
Third string.
Yeah, he's our
Power
fourth.
forward.
He's our fourth big.
Yeah.
Right. He's our fourth big. So I don't get the controversy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so huge that Dallas let him walk out and rejoin with us. But I don't know. Anything else you want to say about the DeAndre situation? I mean, the crazy shit about that. I can't. There's too much. There's too much. I can't believe it actually happened.
It was amazing. I mean, I guess we're late in the game to really get into it now because it was a month ago almost. But
I mean,
wild.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. This is clearly the most villainous team. I mean, I was good before this happened. We still were kind of in agreement that Golden State's the most hateable team, right?
Oh, for us,
For us, certainly.
Yes.
But also because they don't get the worldwide cred for being hateable. Everyone still because everyone loves them, it makes them even more hateable.
For sure.
When they should actually be more. They're much more hateable than the national media gives them credit for. And now the Clippers.
You think the Clippers have overtaken them?
Oh my God! I mean, they were trolling the Mavs while they were doing this.
Pretty actively.
I mean, pretty actively, aggressively.
They got real jerky. People are just like, "Oh, this is funny," and I was like,
This is stepping over into a little too mean.
"Sort of mean." It's like if you're fighting over a girl with a guy, and then you get her, and then you
just keep trolling the guy afterwards.
put the pics on. Here she is. Here she is in my bedroom. I wonder what's going to
It
happen.
reminds me of the SNL skit that Will Ferrell did of the guy who won a campaign election and kept running campaign ads after he won. Just rubbing it in the guy who lost face.
Yeah.
Hey, I won. You didn't. Vote for me. Oh, you already did. Like, that sort of felt like what was going on. It was a little too much.
Yeah, they had no real decorum.
No, none. And what's interesting, though, is that, like, the Clippers now are to me, one of the teams that scares me the most now because they didn't scare me last year. I really wanted the Clippers in the finals because I felt like we would have just destroyed them because they didn't have depth. We didn't have depth either, but, by that point, but we could have, I think, hung with them defensively. I think we could have worked them out. We clearly were in their heads. And I would have liked that matchup. But now they kind of fixed their situation. They changed Matt Barnes and
Spencer
Hawes for
Stevenson.
Yeah.
And
And
Paul Pierce.
I mean,
And
they got
Josh
one more
Smith.
too. Josh Smith. I mean, look,
I mean,
it
Josh
can all
Smith
blow
has
up in
his
their face.
limitations, but
They can all blow up in their face. But the one thing that what's his name, Doc Rivers seems to be good at is getting guys to buy in. I mean, if he can make Rondo a good player, I think he can make something. Maybe he can get Josh Smith to stop doing step back threes, even though that's what beat them. Right. That's one of those things that happens once in a lifetime.
yeah, it's interesting. The West is a monster game now, man. Right? Like the
Spurs,
are
of
so
course,
crazy.
Jesus.
The Warriors are who they are. We know. The Clippers miraculously back from the brink are improved.
Yeah.
Houston, I think, is still good, and people are sleeping on the Thunder a little bit too. I think.
I'm totally sleeping on the Thunder. I keep forgetting that they got a new coach that is actually going to be a good coach. I mean, Scotty Brooks, right? It was terrible.
Yeah,
He ran off. He was a Mike Brown offense, was what he ran basically with amazing players, and that they got there because of the players.
Yeah.
And he played again like Mike Brown, good defense. They played good defense, and he's a good defensive coach. But he was just not inventive enough with the weapons he had.
My concern with them is I saw a projection with Deion starting as their
Ooh, that's a
guard,
mistake.
which
Big mistake. But again, that's the thing. They have Dion on that team, so I mean, like I want Dion to do well. I want him to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd like Dion to shine. I don't know that it's.
If you haven't seen, he's gonna get his number 3 back next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been tweeting about it. I still follow him on Twitter. I still miss him.
He's still fun.
I love him, man. I mean, I now know him for what he was. Not a good basketball player. At least, like, not living up to his promise, not having the right attitude, all that stuff.
He's still an all right guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I really want him to do well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that could be a state dangerous team. But I can't be scared about them until I see KD come back at full strength.
Sure.
I'm not going to believe it until I see it.
Yeah. You're gonna see it though.
I'm terrified. So that means Thunder, terrifying. Warriors, still terrifying. Spurs, always terrifying. Clippers, terrifying, and they're like the villain terrifying.
And actually, you know who secretly got better?
Is
The Grizzlies.
Oh God, God damn it! Forgot about the Grizzlies. You can't forget about them.
Right? They got everybody
some
coming
three-point
back.
shooters.
They got Brandon Wright.
Their Achilles heel is they don't have 3-point shooting.
I don't think they did get a 3-point shooter.
I thought they did. They
I
got
think that was
somebody
the one
decent.
criticism.
No, they got somebody. I can't remember who it was, but they're not an amazing 3-point shooter, but they got somebody who can actually hit 3-point shots at a high 30% rate.
Matt Barnes.
Oh, God,
They
damn,
got
did.
Matt Barnes.
They got Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes can hit 3-pointers, but not,
That is an extra little toughness element. to that.
absolutely. That's a tough, nasty team, man.
They're good. And the Rockets.
The Rockets good. That's 6.
And then on the outside looking in,
All those other teams,
it's like it is a mash in there. Like I guess the Kings could conceivably.
I'm
be
not
better.
worried about that. They're not title contenders. They're not title contenders. But
Minnesota's not
that's,
there, but we'll get there.
Yeah, but let's not worry about them. Those are 6 possible title contenders. Those 4, the 4, it's coming from those 4 most likely. But don't sleep on
The
those
next
other
2 levels are good. The Jazz are going to be way better.
Good.
New Orleans.
Oh my God,
Anthony
yeah.
Davis may be the best player in the league. I don't think we can sleep on him.
No, I think he's probably going to be MVP next year. I feel bad for LeBron. LeBron wants another MVP bad.
I sort of want
Bad.
LeBron not to have an MVP, so he gets real
Exactly.
angry. I like angry LeBron.
All right, we got to move on. Got a few more things. Just briefly, Delhi.
Delhi,
Delhi's back.
just the right way.
Just the right amount. 1 year. I can't believe he's still a restricted free agent next year too.
Yeah.
This couldn't be more perfect for the Cavs.
Mm.
Everything's starting to have Cavs right now. Everything's starting to have Griffin.
No, that's
perfect. It's a perfect deal.
I don't know what his agent was thinking, holding out for $4 million a year.
I mean, you know what? People were seriously saying it.
I think
Yeah,
the agent
it was worth a
seriously
try.
saying it. I guess that's true.
No, people, smart people on Twitter were saying it. Smart Cavs, Jacob Rosen was saying it. And Jacob Rosen, from waiting for next year, that's a smart basketball sports mind. That sounds a little bit too high praise.
Yeah.
I don't mean as a diss on Jacob Rosen, but I just said mind.
Yes.
Within the Cavs Twitter world, he is a paragon.
Right.
So the point being, he's not an idiot.
Yeah. But
He knows more than we do.
to me, it was always too much, though.
I agree.
Wait.
But the point being, if that kind of conventional wisdom was out there, I could see an agent saying maybe the Cavs are dumb enough.
Right.
Also, Delhi was playing up that hometown discount. And, he was doing tons of extra signings in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He was all over the place. Like he was playing up the hometown hero, the cult hero,
Fan favorite.
favorite. Anyway, happy Delhi, you're back. Another year of Goon Squad.
Yeah, it's great. Love that price.
got-
Love being able to do it again next
Absolutely.
summer, assuming things go well.
So then, yeah. So as you point out, we did lose one player from last year. I'm not counting Hayward. Hayward was a trade chip.
You're not counting Marions or Perkins.
I'm not. You're right. Perkins was the first to go. Well, Marion retired.
Yeah.
Perkins was then the first to sign somewhere else. Then we traded the Hayward chip for. It's amazing that Griffin was able to get a big $10.5 million trade exception for nothing
Pick.
which we got because we traded Christmas, which is very sad. We traded Christmas, traded a big name.
I know.
I'm sad. I think he would have been helpful this year.
It feels like it weirded me out a little that Indiana signed him to a 4-year,
Yeah, that seemed
$4 million
That
contract.
seemed high for a second round pick. I don't know enough, but
Yes.
I don't think any second round pick gets $2 million a year. That's
Well,
crazy.
it's not $2 million.
Wasn't
I
it
think
close
it's
to?
4 years, $4 million. $1 million a year for 4 years.
That was
I think
more
that's
than
what I
that.
saw.
We should have done research. Oh well, it was more. It seemed unusually high.
Regardless, just that
higher-
length was a little
Crazy, right?
weird.
Yeah.
Especially because I think the reviews on him were pretty mixed from summer league.
Yeah, he was trying to
He
do
was
a lot.
always going to be fringe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Um,
I don't know. That makes me a little nervous.
how about LeBron being okay with
Miller
Mike
being
Miller
traded?
leaving?
It's so all this stuff about the chatter is that Miller really wanted to go and wanted out.
Mm-hmm.
I assume because he wasn't getting playing time. Where's he going to go?
Oh, I think he can get some playing time with other teams that won't be making the playoffs.
Well, I don't think he's interested.
Well,
in that, is he?
he's trying to go back to Memphis, right? They need a three-point shooter. They need three-point shooting, but I mean, he won't be able.
Yeah, he had a good experience there.
Yeah, he won't be able to hang though. I think with that.
Just I don't know what he's got left in the tank. I mean, he did not. He got his chance last year.
But he's good in the regular season. And one thing was much nice about No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He had moments, I should say. Remember we had that blocked winning game against the Raptors? That was awesome.
That is it.
But that one game, I think, is what kept Black going back to the well. Plus his role of being a leader on the team.
And through the middle, when
voice.
LeBron was out, he started a
yeah.
ton of games.
It's true. He was
And
terrible.
it was awful.
Yeah.
Truly awful.
Truly awful.
Not shooting well.
What's funny though is I think part of it has to be whether LeBron's okay with this is not only is Dan Gilbert like going to be still spending shit tons of tax and not having a problem with it whatsoever, realizing this helps the team get better, realizing that Mike Miller wants to have more playing time somewhere else, and knowing that it wasn't like, oh, Coach Blatt didn't want to give you playing time. It was Coach Blatt tried to give you playing time, and it did not work. Yeah. Like Coach Blatt was ridiculed for starting you in Game 1 of the semifinals. So Coach Blatt went to bat for Mike Miller, so there's no bad blood there.
Yeah.
It's amazing that it happens.
So I think I was fine with both of those trades. I'm fine giving up the second round picks. That's I mean, I know that people like them as assets, but you have them as assets to do stuff like this.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see. We had high hopes that Hayward was going to be turned into a player.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of forces conspired to make that not a reality, the biggest of which being the salary cap. It's just like teams aren't looking to dump salary like they have previously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's no guarantee that either of those things will turn into anything, but I think that's an asset that you collect, and if an opportunity presents itself, you have the ability to use it.
Agreed.
And Griffin has proven himself adept at doing that kind of stuff in season.
Absolutely.
Which is smart. There's no need to have I think this is a Bill Simmons saying that there's no need to have your roster set on July 31st or October 31st, right? Teams make improvements during the year. This is just another thing that will allow us possibly to do that.
Absolutely. Final thoughts, the cast before we move on. What do you think we're going to do with the final two roster spots? We have two more roster spots to fill.
Assuming the TT and JR sign.
TT sign, exactly. Assuming TT and JR sign, which we've already agreed.
So Sasha Khan is the one rumor.
I would love that, by the way. I really think we should try and do that.
I'd be just, especially if the money that is being bandied about, which is essentially the minimum.
Yeah, and he's moving to the U.S., Sasha Khan. His family wants to move to the U.S. He wants some reason to be here. We have his rights. Bee flying right in my face. It's hard to focus. And Sasha Khan, God damn it. Sorry.
Really
I'm afraid to talk. He was like trying to get in my mouth. That was crazy. He's still at me. It's fucking Bee. All right, will you talk for a second while I deal with this?
So I think what I like, one, he would be our fifth big, which I'm just fine with. I'm going to narrate this. Pat is actively running away from a tiny D right now. He's terrified.
I need to reset. Reset the stage. Good continue.
I think still around you.
Fucking right, man.
What I think I'm most intrigued about him is that's not somebody we really need to play absent a couple injuries. He becomes a chip for us. Even if he doesn't sign with us, that he wants to come back and play in the States is enough that he could be the grease to our trade exceptions to really turn them into something interesting. So I certainly think that's a possibility. Everybody's suggesting that that's a spot or two could just be left open for tax savings. This bee is after that.
Every time I come back, he's like, no.
Right in your face. Swat it, man. Just kill it. You're way bigger than it. You are way bigger than that bee. Thousands of times. And I guess the other guy is Sir Dominic, right?
He's going to D League, right?
It seems like it. I'm a little confused about if that counts as a roster spot for us or not, though. If we can retain his rights as a second-round pick and send him to the D League, and it's like a minor leaguer not counting against your 40-man roster in baseball. I'm not entirely sure about that. He's after me now, Pat.
Yeah, he's coming after you. Here.
I'm not scared of bees, though. So.
He's a coward. I think the rule actually is there's 4 players you can designate that can't be signed off.
You retain the rights to?
You retain the rights to, and they're on the roster. I think that's
fine. That is
just getting what's going to happen. My thoughts on Sasha Khan was trying to save for the B attack me was we need that insurance. We need to have at least 4 startable quality big men, and you
Just 5.
What's that? No, I'm sorry, but I mean you have 4 playable at any one time.
Yeah.
Having 5 allows you to always rotate, to always have one guy sit every night. You know what I mean? And I think that's ideal to keep the health of the team going and protects us when a big injury does hit.
And although our talk there ignores the fact that LeBron is legitimately a power forward.
But we don't want to play in power forward in the regular season.
I don't know. I think the league's changing. And do you see Byron Scott's talking about Kobe playing power forward some this year? I know Byron Scott's crazy, but I'm just saying that's the NBA is changing enough that the small ball thing is really taking off, and that Paul Pierce is going to play the 4 for them with Griffin at center sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't have another backup, I guess, maybe, but that's what happened. So we shouldn't ignore that fact. So.
All right, so I think we agree. We like to see Sasha Khan be the 14th pick, and if we just leave the 15th spot open,
and then wait and see
what happens.
Flexibility, and we don't have anybody at quarterbacks, etc.
All right, Matty, it is time to move on to the tribe.
There's a red
Song makes me happy.
I know.
on the Cuyahoga River,
We're gonna give it a little bit first.
rolling into Cleveland to the lake.
We'll have to wait. How long until the chorus? I should have planned this.
Rising
You can let it go.
on the Cuyahoga River, rolling into Cleveland to the lake.
Oh, God damn it.
There's an oil.
We'll play this in the background as we talk about this.
Down the Cuyahoga
That, I think,
River,
summarizes how I feel about the Indian season this year.
rolling
Burn on.
into Cleveland to the lake.
The depressing song from when things were terrible at the
Yes.
beginning of Major League.
Exactly. That's how I feel about the Indians right now.
It sucks, man.
Who the fuck are these guys?
I
I didn't know we still had a team.
was super excited coming into this season.
Big time.
Right? And I think for a good reason.
I'm muted.
I think we're at a point now. Whatever. The season's essentially done, right? Like
I mean, that's the big question, right? We look. I mean, like Indians won the last 2 games. Last 2. We had a big, I mean, Indians broke out for 12 runs 2 days ago, and my reaction was, "Fuck you, Tribe!" Like, this has been the Indians' offense for the past like 10 years of anemic offense: 1 run, 0-1, 1 run, 1 run, 0-1, 0-1, 2 run, 1 run, and then all of a sudden 14 runs when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like, could you just consistently put up 4? I know you average it out when you have these big, worthless scoring games. Could you just? I mean, I know that's illogical what I'm arguing for, but it's so aggravating.
What's interesting about what you point out, though, is one of the reasons most of the pundits really like the Tribe coming into this season, right? And again, for good reason. And even when they weren't so good for the beginning, a lot of people were still on top of them. So there's some guys that should come back to the mean in a good way. And they had a lot of I'm going to forget the name of this term, but it's like clustering bad luck, right? So that they were getting hits, but just not clustering them together in the right way. And
they can't rally.
That feels like you're leaving guys in scoring position, and that just feels shitty. But it is, in some ways, it is just luck or bad when your hits get clustered together or when they don't. Right. And that was going to turn back around, and theoretically, it still can. It sucks that this is a lost season. It sucks that coming off of the playoff game 2 years ago into last year being a little disappointing. They weren't terrible, but they certainly didn't build on it.
They were hanging around. They just didn't make
it. This year was the year to make a statement. They'd just done all the work to Jacobs Field, Progressive Field, to try to get some more fans back in there. This felt like the year to really make a big step to me. Yeah. And they didn't, and have been so terrible at home too. That's one of the worst things about it. Is their home record is just.
I get so mad at I get so mad at Indians fans. I live in New York. You live in San Francisco. We're Cleveland fans going to see the empty seat. Like if I lived in Cleveland, I'd be going all the time.
It's so depressing.
I'd be going all the time.
Yeah,
that would be like a 3 times a week thing if they're in town. It so aggravates me. But then when the Tribe just justifies it by taking a steaming hot dump on their fans, they were finally crowded for this homestand, and you lost the first 5 games straight. No, 6 games. It was a 7-game homestand. We lost. We got swept in 4 games by the White Sox, like badly. It was like
That was awful.
we outscored, I think, like something like 28-3.
Yeah. That was the old where 2 games back of the Tigers and going to a 4-game series at home and just getting
Got
swept.
destroyed. And that's the thing. We were with 3 games below 500, right where I was saying we needed to be. We just need to be in striking distance of 500 when September rolls around, and then we'll make our run. And
just totally shit the bed.
yeah, we just shit the bed. Now we're like 7 games, I think, under 500.
I'm checking Twitter right now because I'm terrified they're going to announce that they've traded Carrasco. Which makes
Yeah, I was just saying the one positive has been last night was the third straight game Indian starting pitchers through a complete game. Yeah, Bauer, then Kluber, and now Carrasco was just nasty last night.
So
in Oakland,
the beating heart at the center of this is this team should still be good for a long time.
They got these
starting
4
4
amazing
pitchers.
starting 4 for the next 5 years wrapped up.
They got them.
It's incredible.
I don't know why. I hope this Carrasco trade stuff is just coming from other teams. I don't know why on earth.
We would trade him.
We
That
would
makes
deal
no
with him.
sense. We have him wrapped up for 5 years, and the thing is, it's so hard to get this many good starting pitchers in a row. We had him for 5 years. It's so much easier to sign a good guy, a guy who's not Michael Bourne, a guy who's not Nick Swisher. We just need to sign 2 bats.
And they've got bats coming up in the system that should be here soon. It's
We can fix the offense. It's so much harder we struck gold with these pitchers. We got to run with this. We cannot let any of them go.
I totally agree. I would be furious with them if they did that.
There were some trades though, Matt. What were your takes on we traded Murphy and
So we traded
Brandon Moss?
Murphy to the Angels for a AA shortstop who
Makes
doesn't
no
seem like a
sense.
whole much. I don't think he's a grade A. I don't think they were going to get a whole lot from Murphy.
They just wanted a utility guy maybe in the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be an organizational depth guy. They need a shortstop there. Maybe they saw something in him they liked, and they think they can flip him. Obviously, I think Lindor is going to be ensconced in that position for a long time. So the Brandon Moss trade, the kid they got, whose name I'm totally blank on, from the Cardinals, instantly became the third-rated prospect in our whole minor league system. Which one says something about the weakness of our minor league system.
Yep.
But 2, that's a great trade.
Yes, it is.
I don't think Moss was signed beyond this year. We're going to lose him anyway. To flip him, that's a classic Indians move.
Good move. Yeah.
I love it.
And that's what I thought we were doing with Nick Swisher to an extent when we signed him. Like that big deal. We're like, we'll be out of the contention and we'll trade him for a pick. But he's been so terrible.
It's just he's
hurt.
been
He's
injury
been hurt too.
I like
Even-
Swish.
He was
Ohio
great. The
State
first half of that first season he was with us was
Awesome.
super fun. Like he was one of those guys that was like, I would hate this douche if he was on any other team but ours, but he's super fun to have on our team. And he's just been hurt. Yeah, that's fun. Hey, but the Chiz kid's back. Chisenhall called back up with that heavy, slow bat of his.
Yeah. Playing the outfield now,
Playing the
too,
outfield.
allegedly.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't sadly,
I
I think we've got to be done with Chisenhall.
It's
Although
too
I
bad
like
'cause-
Urshela.
I love Rochella, and it's too bad for Chisenhall because he was just crushing AAA pitching. He was one of those guys who just he was supposed to be like
good at
Kipnis.
AAA.
He thought he was going to be just like Kipnis,
Yeah.
and it just hasn't translated. Matty, is there any hope for the stretch run? Look up our record. What are we at now? How far are we behind 500? We just won 2 in a row, so we're back off the the 7-game
lost
slide.
That many in a row. I think we are.
We both can't pull it, honestly.
We're 5 games under, 6 games under.
Yeah, let's see here. We're 47 and 54. So
That's depressing.
still 7. We got back a little bit, so
I think it's
we're
going to be
close.
hard for them to get back in, right? All the teams around the margins for the wild cards are making big
Big
moves.
pushes.
Blue
So-
Jays, Royals, Astros,
It's gotta
Angels.
It's got to start now if it's going to happen at all. And even then, it's probably going to be a little.
I think
probably
it's possible.
short. I think we probably have fallen too far behind too late in the season.
I
for this
agree.
to be-
But it would do us and the fans a lot of good to just be productive and have a solid end of the season and build some momentum going into next year. I'd like to see that.
Absolutely.
This team, it stinks for this year because it felt like there was a window. But there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about this club moving forward. We have all our important pieces locked up long term. We've got some more good pieces in the system coming forward. I still like this front office. The Indians front office was a favorite of a lot of the more numbers inclined pundits, like Rob Meyer. Every year from when it's like the late 90s teams broke up, right? Like the Toby Indians broke up. So whenever you want to call that, 01, 02, they sort of bottomed out there. Every year from like 04 through, those people love them. Like, don't sleep on the Chernobyl. it's a good front office. I feel like we've gotten some bad beats.
Bad breaks, yeah.
And I hope they keep plugging them and can turn it around soon. It should be a fun team. It should be such a fun team. I love great starting pitching.
Burn on.
Yeah.
Burn on, Big River.
Sadly.
Burn on.
Well, I was going to say, if we want to talk about depression, this is great.
Yes, this is a good transition. Nice segue, Matt.
But I think before we get into depression, there's a little bit of fun stuff for us, Pat.
Fun stuff, yeah. Before we get to the Browns, talk about the NFL for a second. Deflategate happened this week, and nothing is more amusing than Pats fans, Boston fans in general, having to deal with bad news.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh my God, they just turn into the most irrational, awful human. I mean, they're already awful human beings to begin with. I'm sorry, Boston fans, but you are. You have been ever since you won the World Series. You've been insufferable.
Yes.
I used to love Boston fans before the Red Sox won the World Series. You've been the worst, absolute worst. This is how bad you've been. You're worse than New York sports fans.
Way worse.
Way worse. It's like a deep, long look in the mirror.
Yeah, think about
you guys did this to yourself.
Think about that.
So, excuse me. Oh my God, just watch. I mean, the defiance that Kraft and the Patriots have. This story is absolutely ridiculously, embarrassingly bad for the Patriots, for Tom Brady. His excuse was that he destroys his phone regularly, and the SIM cards. That's what he does. He just destroys them. Moves on. You know, you did say you wanted my cell phone and you wanted to look through the investigation. I just, it slipped my mind because I just always do this with my phones and bash them with a hammer. It's one of the things I do. Everyone does this, right? Right? That was his actual explanation.
Is it possible that that's a thing celebrities do with their phones?
No. I think they throw it. Well, it's fine. Actually, you know what? I heard on NPR the other day. Kim Kardashian was being interviewed by Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is crazy. I don't know why she would ever do that and why they would talk to her, but
that seems like
it was a really weird thing.
2 mistakes were made.
Yes, exactly. But it was fascinating because she said he asked her, like, what do you do when you run out of space in your phone? Do you just basically throw it away? She's like, yeah. Like that's what she always does. So maybe this is some weird rich person thing that you do. Except that this is ridiculous. Come on.
Now, do you think do you feel that you could understand why Tom Brady might be reluctant to give his phone to the NFL?
Because the NFL leaked as much shit as they could when the shit hit the fan.
The leaky ship that is the NFL.
Yeah, I could see that. At the same time, the Patriots lawyers back when the first report came out said, "Oh no. Taking the air out. What was the phrase they used? Was a metaphor for losing weight. These guys were just talking about losing weight." That's what they said when they tried to explain away all the text saying, like, "I'm going to take the air out of these balls."
Brother. What I enjoy most about this, Pat, is this is like watching 2 assholes in a fight together, and you're like, somebody's going to lose, and I will love it either way.
Yes. And watching,
great.
It's great.
I hope it's maximal damage on both sides, because it's not like we're fans of Goodell or the NFL.
It's funny when Bill Simmons, when he was at ESPN and he's back. When Bill Simmons was at I'm just gonna let it crawl on me. I'm gonna trust me. We're gonna be friends. Me and this being.
That's the way to do it.
Live and let live. When Bill Simmons was being suspended by ESPN for bashing Goodell, my reaction was, man, fuck ESPN, but also fuck Bill Simmons. He's also being a dick about this. It's like this is him. The way he was trying to call out his bosses. Like this is the worst part of Bill Simmons.
That was pouty child.
His pouty child stuff. So I was like, F you, ESPN, for making me support and back up Bill Simmons. Yeah. Like, I was annoyed by that. And, this couldn't be a more perfect present to deal with that situation by having the Patriots, the NFL's assholes, off against the NFL and Roger Goodell, the ultimate asshole.
It's amazing because Kraft and Goodell are like
buddies, yeah.
Right?
That's got to be an awkward golf round.
I can't wait for whatever comes next. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of power cufflinks flashed by Robert Kraft. Yeah. Boy, does anyone dress like more of an asshole than Robert Kraft?
Somebody must.
The bright, yeah, probably. But I don't know. He's
up there.
He's up there with the high. Doesn't he wear the blue shirt with the white collar? One of those guys.
Sure.
Just God,
sure. He didn't get the memo that ended.
Yeah. Oh my God, what an asshole. All right, Matt. It's time to the training camp's in the way. It's day 2 of training camp. I was looking at on my Twitter account this morning. people were showing
Terrell Pryor's making
one-handed grabs.
Oh,
Oh man, and then dropping two-handed grabs.
Yeah.
Pat McManaman,
So
not to be
true.
confused with me, followed up with a video of after that was all done, he just dropped the two-handed pass. Thanks, Pat McManaman. Let's be happy for 1 fucking second on day 2 of your training camp. Let's talk ourselves into the Browns.
Yeah, I like this bit, Pat. Let's get excited for a minute.
Let's first talk about. First of all, the first half of the season was great. That was a real team. When we beat the shit out of the Steelers, that was a playoff team.
Yeah.
And they had everyone they had when they made the playoffs, and we just destroyed them. Then, of course, within the game, we lost Mac, our center. Now, he wasn't that important. I think other things were going on, but that was a big domino. It created a domino effect.
Yes.
That then hurt the season. The point is, the first 6 games of that season, that was a real NFL football team. The first time I've had the Browns
We were
be a real
7-4
NFL
for
football
God's sake.
Yeah. And that same team that played those first 6, 7 games or first 11 games is coming back. Minus Hoyer, who's he was not a difference maker. I mean, I watched him play. How many times did we talk ourselves into? It was great that he underthrew that ball to make sure that he caught it. No, he kept doing that. He was terrible.
Yeah.
I loved Hoyer. I loved the story. I loved, obviously Mo Williams. We love this kind of stories. But Hoyer, we're not really missing anything. Everyone's upset about the Josh McCown signing, and he was the poster child of the Grantland review of the worst signings in the NFL this year. He was right up there. But I'm like, I don't know. It's our quarterbacks suck anyways.
Well, it's not like it's locking us in.
Hoyer was the other option. Is he really that much of a downgrade from Hoyer? No.
If he's terrible, get
Then
rid of him.
fine, whatever. No big deal. We lost Sheard. I hated losing that. We lost Cameron.
Yeah.
Those are big guys we lost. We lost some other guys that aren't really important. That's probably Kitchen.
Just
You're upset
Kitchen
about.
You don't care about at all. Huh?
I mean, good for depth. But he was never really a difference maker to me. His promise was much bigger than his actual production. He's just an enormous human being. So that's all we lost. We basically got the same team back.
Yes, a bad quarterback, a concussed tight end, and a good
defensive lineman.
He signed with the Patriots, right?
Yeah, it's annoying. You know he's going to do well.
He'll be very good.
Motherfucker. But on top of that, we've now added Terrell Pryor as a wide receiver.
Whoa, Pat, you're blowing my mind.
And as we mentioned, one-handed grabs from Terrell Pryor. He's going to make the conversion. Josh Gordon is taking him under his wings, hopefully not to show him how to abuse substances.
Friend of the podcast and resident Browns expert Brent Keating had dinner with last week when I was in Cleveland, and he says Terrell Pryor does not make the team.
Yeah, he's probably right, but I think he makes the team. I think he makes the team on sentiment alone. It's good PR. We know the Browns will do that kind of shit for PR. Also,
he's
because
your third-string quarterback.
Also, because I think if he shows any kind of promise, you hold on to that and see if you can develop throughout the season. It's one of those things that's worth gambling on. He's 6'4", looking fast. He can catch. The running around is hard to learn, so we give him more time. I would.
He could be a weapon in the red zone.
Exactly. You got to keep him around. Plus, Dwayne Bowe.
Ooh.
Stone hands, but athletic and tall. Stretch the defense. He's the worst fantasy wide receiver I've ever owned.
Oh, I've owned him many
times.
Twice.
I've owned him twice. And every single time, it's been a horrible decision for me.
Many times. I'll probably get him again this year.
Probably. Plus, Ohio Heartline. Oh, Brian Hartline, another Ohio State product.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
That's something to be excited about, isn't it?
That's a good possession receiver. I'm always looking for the next Brian Brennan. Jervicius, my white possession receiver.
Receivers. You love those
I
guys.
love them, man. Love them so much.
Oh.
Who's next?
Didn't we get an amazing new punter pick?
We did. We traded a 7th-round pick for a punter. Oh. I mean, I'll miss Spencer Lanning, who trolled Mike. Who is it? Not Mike Wallace? Who is it?
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
The kick to the face.
Kick to the face. And he said, "I apologize to him." He's like, "No, you didn't." On Twitter. I will always love you, Spencer Lanning. You all right.
People liked him.
If you ever come to Cleveland or Brooklyn and you recognize me, because I'm obviously a person that's known.
Of course.
I've been on TV before. Spencer Lanning, I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah.
Anytime. Also, the Trayvon Williams is a sleeper signing. The Green Bay cornerback. We got a fucking deep secondary.
I like
our defense.
Pat, let's talk about good deep offensive line. I think that's one of the better offensive lines in the league.
Super deep. Our first round draft pick, Cameron Williams, who I love that pick. Cameron Irving, excuse me. Cameron Williams. Cameron Irving. That won't be the first time I make the mistake.
Of course.
I'll call him Cameron Jordan next. Cameron Irving was a great pick. I actually I think I was predicting that. I wanted the 2 first-round picks we made. I think I called.
Yeah.
And I was happy with. I was really thrilled with. He can play center. He can play guard. He can play tackle. That's an amazing asset to have. As good of a talent on the offensive line that he is. And on top of that, they're like, he might not make the starter. He might be a bench player, which would be, I think, terrible because I don't think that Greco's that good. My hope is that he makes it as the right guard.
He'll get there as the right guard, I think.
I think yeah. And if he makes it as the right tackle, that means that Mitchell Schwartz has really fallen off the map, and that Greco is, it won't be a good thing if he makes right tackle. I think the ideal situation is that he starts at right guard, and Greco's our filling.
Solid offensive
That's
line.
super solid.
What about our defensive line? That's
Our
pretty
defensive
solid.
line, we have a big draft pick, so our number 1 pick.
You like Shelton, don't you?
I love Shelton. Hey, Shelton, his story.
Do you make anything of the people that say that he's too slow? He had a slow 40 time.
I mean, isn't that what nose tackles are supposed to do? Aren't they supposed to be slow? He's an enormous motherfucker.
What do I care about that?
Shit. He wore like a Pacific Islander skirt to his. That's fucking awesome.
At the draft. He seems like a very, very likable.
Yes, I'm already on that bandwagon.
Relatively together, down to earth guy.
Exactly, and we got Duke Johnson, that weird draft pick, another running back. But whatever, this is a great running back team. I mean, this is a good deep roster running backs.
People like him.
Who else did we get this exciting in the draft?
Xavier Cooper, people are talking about a lot. Another defensive lineman.
That's right. He was a good value pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like we made a lot of good, smart, long-term draft picks on top of the good talent we already have. Yep. This is one of the more talented teams we've had in a long time. What we don't have is the one thing that we'll need. We'll talk about this in a second, obviously the quarterback. But the other thing I want to say is in the plus for us, we still have a mean-mugging son of a bitch as our head coach.
Oh, yeah. I like Patton still.
I love him, man. I really don't have a huge amount of criticism to make of his in-game decisions. I mean, there's some. He's not great, but they aren't like
that's not what did us in last year.
No, they aren't Romeo Crennel level. Mm-hmm. They aren't Pat. What's his name?
Shermer.
Pat Shermer level. Idiot moves.
Yes.
And he clearly commands the team.
Yep.
The team responds to him. They follow him. He has their ears. That's something that's not something you can just discount.
I agree.
I'm gonna make a sidebar before we talk ourselves out of this situation.
What?
A sidebar here. Talking about Penn as a coach and how awesome he is reminds me. So as some of our friends know, I've been watching this birthday present my dad gave me, which is he gave me a bunch of classic Browns games on DVD. I've been watching with my son, my 4-year-old Arthur. That's the one we get into the Browns. NFL films, I think. Okay. These were recorded like late 90s.
Okay.
These guys are still young. So I watched the recap of the Browns-Jets double overtime playoff game in 1987. Was it 86? I think it was 87. It was 87 in terms of the playoffs. It was the 86 season. That is, I mean, first of all, like, guys, if you haven't gotten it yet, go out and buy it on Amazon. Search for it, get it. It's worth it. Try and find the DVD. I'll post it. It's so good. I'll tell you why in a second. Or tell your wife or your family to get it for your Father's Day or your birthday or Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever. Get it. It's great. First of all, one thing I found was Marty Schottenheimer was just an impossible situation. He first of all, he had a quarterback who was my idol, Bernie Kosar, who was just an unbelievable asshole. And Bernie Kosar basically admits it in his interviews. He basically said during that game, Marty Schottenheimer really wanted to run the ball a lot, get to establish the running game. It's probably wrong to have done that. Bernie was probably right, but he kept every single time changing the call. He changed the call every single play, and you could hear Marty saying, they cut away to Marty talking on the headsets to Bernie saying, "Can we just try one run? Let's just try one run. We could just try the play." Like he was like pleading with him, like he was a teenager.
That's crazy.
Or like he was clearly not in command of the team.
Yeah.
Bernie was just undercutting him left and right. Lindy Infante was pissed at Bernie because Lindy Infante was not getting his calls made, and Bernie kept saying, like, these aren't working. Make fucking pass. Like, he was just being a total dick about it. And
he was what then, 24 or something?
Yeah, he was just like, it was unbelievable. I mean, like, there's other stories of him doing this to Belichick in his last game, actually, where they were playing terrible, and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm calling
up the field in the dirt."
He he called his plays in the second half. He scored 2 touchdowns, and he showed up Belichick, and Belichick fired him after that. But Bernie even recognizes, he's like, I really just needed to calm down. Like, I have to trust them a little bit. I mean, it wasn't working. They were wrong, but I need to let them see it before I started doing that. That's a big reason why Bernie threw for like a playoff record, like 500 yards, like 480 yards. It was because he was throwing almost every down. But the other thing is, Bill Cowher was on that team. He was a special teams coach, and I'd never seen this before. He was a fucking lunatic. Like before the game. Tell me if you've seen this precedent before. Before the game, Schottenheimer gives his like pregame speech. You're like, one play at a time. One play at a time is like standard thing. As soon as he walks in, and you can see Cowher like just standing in the background, just getting so pumped, waiting for Marty Schottenheimer to be done and walk away. When he walks away, he comes in, talks to the entire team. The special teams coach going, listen, guys. His eyes bulging, chin jutting, super intense. He's like, we play this game the way we play it. Don't we know how we can play this game? Like, you're getting super pumped. Like, why does the special teams coach do that? Yeah. He was waiting for Marty to walk away so I can do the real pump up here. Yeah. Later, there's a foul on a special teams play, and Marty starts yelling at the ref, and Cowher blows past Marty and gets right in the ref's face, and Marty has to grab him, pull him back, finish yelling at the guy. As soon as he walks away, Cowher right back in, and he pulls him back saying, listen, I'm the head coach. I will yell at them. Get back. Like, that's what he had to do. He had to deal with a bunch of children just constantly undermining his authority the entire time. Pettin doesn't have that problem. And I'll say that about him. I was unaware how little command of the team that Marty Schottenheimer actually had.
I think he just has a GM that's constantly trying to undermine his authority.
That's what he has. But the rest of the team is on Pettin's side. Yeah. And that gets us, that's a nice segue into why we need to back ourselves out of this.
I was feeling really good about the Browns. We got a deep offensive line, defensive line. Secondary so good. We got these young running backs, maybe some promising wide receivers.
But as you pointed out, Ray Farmer is still the GM.
And Ray Farmer made all these moves that we feel so good about.
He's also just an idiot and a bad manager. We talked about this earlier with Becca about what it takes to be a manager of things. Like, it's a different skill. You can be great at your job and be a superstar, so you need to be promoted. People promote people who are bad at managing people into these roles. I think Ray Farmer is a great judge of talent. I bet he's really smart and can run a team, but he's not a good manager of people. That's
certainly
clear.
Seems that way.
It is clear. And it's weird. You don't think of these like mundane things of managing, staff, managing relationships with people that work for you. He clearly is not good at that. But I will give him my optimistic perspective. That's why I said earlier after the season was done that I want to keep Ray Farmer, even though he's a complete idiot and nearly cost us a draft pick. We got lucked out with not getting that taken away from us. He's good enough at judging talent that he's worth keeping around. His big mistakes being Manziel and Gilbert, which may have been Pettin pushing on Gilbert and
Gilbert I haven't given up
Manziel. No, Gilbert.
Manziel I've given up on.
Yeah, I've given up Manziel too. I think anyone with eyes should give up on Manziel. But Gilbert could be useful at some point. But also the problem is, man, Jimmy Haslam's still the owner, and he's a fucking disaster. I mean,
not a good guy.
It's pretty hard to top Randy Lerner.
Yeah,
as a bad owner.
I think he's done it.
Stiggy, are you listening? Would you admit that Haslam is now worse than Randy Lerner? I think you may even once said no one could be worse than Randy Lerner. I think we found the guy.
I think you did it.
We found your guy. Another reason to back out of getting excited about the Browns is we have a great team. You know what doesn't matter? It doesn't matter because we don't have a quarterback.
Not even close.
You cannot win. I mean, look, the Ravens were so superlatively good on defense that year. And so superlatively good running the ball,
right?
And had a Hall of Fame tight end that they could live with a really crappy quarterback, Trent Dilfer. And Trent Dilfer was played just the right way for them because they replaced him with a better quarterback clearly next year, and Elvis Gerbeck, and they were just awful. The Browns beat them that year, embarrassed them. Here's the situation, man. Here's why you should be not excited about the Browns next year.
So excited.
Our QBs are Josh McCown. And Johnny Manziel, and I emphasize, McCown is the starter.
Man, that's bad.
That's not good.
He had a nice year last year, though, didn't he?
No, he did not. No, he did not.
Oh, he wasn't?
He got benched by the worst team in the NFL.
Uh-oh.
They had the first pick in the draft this year because of the worst team in the NFL, and he couldn't even hold on the starting job with the worst team in the NFL.
Oh, no, that's who we signed?
Yep. That's the guy we signed.
That doesn't sound good.
Doesn't
at all.
sound good. No, it doesn't.
That doesn't
Although
inspire
that's
confidence.
what I love about training camp. I've been hearing he's been throwing some sweet deep passes, 40 yard out routes to Dwayne Bowe.
Nice touch passes
Touch,
along
yep,
the sidelines
yep.
out here too.
Yep.
I don't know, Pat.
Stop it. We are backing out of this. We're excited about Bowe and Hartline and Pryor, but again, that's our wide receiving core. Dwayne Bowe, Stonehands, Dwayne Bowe,
That's a lot of
Brian, possession
rejects.
receiver, Hartline, who had one good year and has been coasting off that good year ever since. A quarterback as a wide receiver.
Yes, who's been cut by 3 other teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the smallest guy in the NFL, Andrew Hawkins, who actually I'm psyched about.
I love him.
I love him. I think he's great. All right. And also Taylor Gabriel,
Joe Hayden loves him.
loves him. And Joe Hayden, I love Joe Hayden. So if Joe Hayden loves him, I love him.
Transitive property.
Yep, exactly. We just reference transitive property in this podcast. That's a good sign. All right, before we move on.
So you don't think they're going to be good?
This is a good question. We have a much harder schedule this year. Part of the reason we were 7-4 last year is we had a really easy schedule.
Cupcake schedule.
We're going to
for
get
sure.
destroyed. I think we'll probably be.
It's easy at the beginning, though. We have a pretty good start to the year.
I say 6-10, and I think that's optimistic. But that's my point. Is I'm talking myself too much into the Browns. I think they'll be decent enough that they can pull off 6 wins.
That sounds right, which also gives them not a great draft.
No, right. Whatever. They're drafting right. We just got to keep drafting quarterbacks every year. I was not happy we didn't draft a quarterback this year, but I think you just got to keep drafting until you strike it rich.
You know that I think we shouldn't draft them in the first round almost ever, though. Unless we have the top pick and we feel like
Our friend and colleague Dave Deming,
Says you always should.
who goes to Harvard, or actually, no, he teaches
he's a
at Harvard.
professor.
He's a professor at
Even
Harvard.
worse. It's scary.
Yeah, it's even more pretentious. He
Says you
would
always
disagree
should.
with you.
I know
Always
he
draft a
does.
quarterback in the first round because of the money.
I hear that. My argument against that is the opportunity cost of what you're losing in other valuable players that you can better predict their performance in the NFL is too high. And if later round quarterback picks perform to the same degree that first round picks do, which is not exactly true, but it's close to true, then why waste the opportunity cost of filling your roster with other valuable players who you think are really going to do well? I'm fine if they take a quarterback in the 4th round every year from now until I die. I don't want them going in the.
Well, I'll say this.
How many first round quarterbacks have we taken since the Browns came back, Pat?
1, 2, 3, right? So 4 is Couch, the redhead, Whedon, and Manziel. Who else? I don't think there's anyone else.
Yeah, isn't there one more in there? Yeah.
Oh, we
Brady
got Brady
Quinn.
Quinn. Yeah, you're right. 4. We traded back. We traded our first round pick the next year. We traded a first rounder for him.
None
Yeah.
of those have worked out.
True. It's
Part of that is it's because of the Browns. Part of that is because quarterbacks are extremely hard to predict how they're going to do in the NFL
Mhm.
outside the system. And I would rather not. I'd rather have an offensive lineman that we felt really good about, a defensive lineman, a cornerback, something that we could predict better how they were going to translate to the next level.
Well, what's interesting is the Browns are both the supporting argument on your side and also the counter argument. Because we drafted 4 quarterbacks in the first round, they've all tanked.
Mhm.
But the point is, we've also built a pretty good team with talent at every position except wide receiver, because Josh Gordon keeps getting screwed by the NFL and himself. I mean, I don't want to talk about Josh Gordon. We've got talent everywhere except wide receiver, and we're still going to be terrible because we don't have a quarterback. And
For
honestly,
sure.
you take one
I just
top
don't,
10 quarterback, and we're a playoff team.
I agree. I just don't think we're clearly not getting up to the top of the draft where you can feel good about the guys you're identifying. And after that,
Well, my attitude is
we're
though,
wasting picks.
My attitude is that we're wasting picks anyways until we get a quarterback. So it's like I'm
Oh.
fine with gambling
Well-
until we get that guy. Because honestly, that guy can make a bad team good. But and honestly, you're not going to go anywhere until you get that elite quarterback.
Okay, that's fair. I guess my point is I think we are as likely to find him in the 4th round as we are in the 1st round.
True.
And
Which
I'd
is why I think that you have to draft a quarterback every single year.
Yeah.
I think you have to.
Until you find a guy.
And that's why I was a little disappointed we didn't draft them a quarterback this year. That means we have to draft one next year. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever. We have to do it somewhere.
Agreed.
So, anyway, yes, I think 6-10. You say 6-10?
I might have 5-11. I think is probably.
Well,
That's depressing.
we're just over an hour now. So you wanted to give your fantasy outlook for the Browns.
Oh, who would I take in my fantasy?
yeah,
Yeah,
who'd
I
you
know
take?
you're trying to hide.
Well, because like everyone knows I'm going to draft the Browns. I'm the biggest homer in the
That's
league.
true. It's going to happen.
I always draft at least one Browns player. And I avoid Ravens and Steelers whenever possible.
Sure. So I think I'll give my take. Their defense is probably draftable. If you would draft a defense.
That's true.
I don't usually, but they're playable. Maybe that's more important.
That's true.
During the year, I think they'll be playable against the right teams.
Someone's going to throw $2 down on them.
You.
Well, or Skyler or whatever. Skyler will
Yeah.
throw $3 down and just fuck with somebody.
Yeah. Clearly, none of their quarterbacks are not playable.
Yeah.
Running back.
Oh yeah.
Will get picked up. I mean, they had him and played last year, but I think all
Those
Crowell and West will probably get drafted, and I think Johnson has a chance to roster.
Yeah, I had West and who was Tate.
Yeah.
All year, and those were playable guys. If I could have gotten Crowell too, I would have kept all three of them for a while. I would have probably dropped Tate.
So I think two or maybe three of those guys. Their wide receivers, Bo will get rostered.
Mm-hmm.
Hartline probably in our league just because it's Cleveland.
We're also a deep league.
12 Hawkins teams. Somebody could end up with.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Somebody might take a run on Pryor if he makes the team and seems like he's going to be any good.
Yeah,
I don't think that's impossible that somebody would spend $1 on him.
But you shouldn't. You should really wait until you know what's happening. I mean, unless you feel like you have the inside knowledge. There's no point in drafting the guy unless he's actually going to play.
But that happens sometimes.
It's true.
I think that's it. I don't think our tight ends are draftable.
That's basically it. It's rough. This might be the first year I don't draft a Brown.
That's nice feint, Pat.
Nobody's buying it.
Nobody's buying that for us. So.
Damn it! Come on, be cool, Matt. Be cool about this.
Nah.
This is going out to our entire league. You could have been cool about this. Help me out. I guess it would have been collusion, so we don't want to do that. Maddie, anything else you want to add? I think that kind of does it.
No, I think we are in the state we thought we'd be in, right? Lots to be excited about with the Cavs. Indians disappointing us as ever and trudging along in the way that they do, and the Browns. Reason for excitement, but we know the disappointment is coming.
It's coming hard. It's going to hit us really hard. Well, that about does it for the Cleveland Sports Hour. We're going to be back in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
2 weeks.
We'll try it again in a couple weeks. Some stuff should happen. We should have some more Brown stuff. The
Browns
Indian
training camp
season will
update, right?
hopefully shaken out one way or
Yeah,
the other.
so the Browns training camp update, some final Cavs roster thoughts. The Cavs roster should be finalized.
If TT's not and JR aren't done in a couple weeks, then we'll have
we'll either have a toast of champagne to celebrate TT coming back, or we'll have a toast to calm our nerves because shit's going down.
Yes.
If he's not signed by 2 weeks, we're gonna be.
I think that's right.
Yeah. We'll also probably have a likely pre-mortem, as you put it, pre-mortem
on the tribe
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming up. So until next time, this is Matty and Patty saying, friendship.
Oh,
Nailed it. It's so much easier in person. Nice.
Well done, buddy.